What I am going to say may come as a shock to you, but a believer in business should not have a broken business. All right, let's jump into this. Are you ready? I am Coach Kim. Welcome to Boss Your Brain in Business. Let's go ahead. We about to go there today. So, a believer in business with a broken business, a business that's not working, is not normal. Okay? To have a broken business as a believer is not normal. Why do I say that? Well, first off, let's go to Psalm 1. Okay? Like it's right there. Verse 3. Let me read it. It says, "That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers." Okay? So this is the word of God. Whatever we do prospers. Okay? Whatever we do prospers. And so if I have a broken business, which I have had a broken business before, then that's not my inheritance. A broken business is not my inheritance. And I really feel that we should be honest. We should come out and be like, you know what? Yeah, this business is broken. Because if we don't really see that, then we can't get the help we need. Okay? If you don't see, because what happens is when we don't see that this business is broken, we're going to keep putting money into a broken business. Okay? And it's broken. I'm going to share it with you in a minute, like why we have a broken business. But we have a broken business because we've been set up to have a broken business. Okay? We have been set up to have a broken business. And so I see it all the time. I have clients, and I'm specifically speaking to coaches, and yes, this can apply to entrepreneurs, but I have clients, they're new, they're brand new, and I see it already. They come and they want to start their businesses, but they have all of these expectations and they have all of these things in their head about what they need to do, what they think they need to have, and they actually, with all of that in their head already, their first steps are going to determine whether that business is going to be a broken business or if that business is going to be a well, healthy business. Okay, so I see it. I see the mindsets. I see what they're bringing to it, and I'm like, right, come on, let me get to you. Let me help you with that brain. Let me help you with that mind. Because if not, you're going to have a broken business. And what happens when our business is broken? We discard it, we throw it away, we don't value it, we abandon it. When something is broken and you can't put it back together, or something's broken and you can't fix it, what are you likely to do with it? And so we ain't throwing away no businesses on Kim's watch. So come on in, and let's get this party started. All right, did I introduce myself? I'm not sure. I am Coach Kim. I'm a certified life and business mindset coach for brilliant Christian coaches, and I simply help them make more money, have more impact in their lives, in their businesses, using two powerful things they already possess. If you want to hear more from me, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, all the things that they say to do. And I want to really get into this. I really want to hit this because I want to talk about how you can become unstuck and unstoppable now and in 2024 and beyond. And here is the thing, it's not in what you're doing. Okay, it's the secret is not in a new strategy, it's not in the latest thing, it's not in knowing how to do reels like this. It's not that. Okay, but let me go ahead and talk about this. Maybe we'll use the board for a little bit. But I want to talk about how you can know if your business is broken. Because if you don't know your business is broken, you will still be operating in your business by faith. Like, I'm operating by faith and I'm believing. No, your business is broken. Okay? Have some faith to believe God to help you see you have a broken business and it needs to be fixed. And so there is one way you can truly know if your business is broken. If you have a broken business, because if you just keep pouring money into it, it's leaking. Okay? All right. So this is how you can know if your business is broken. You ready? Here you go. Make sure you can see this. Your sowing and not reaping. Okay, can you see that? I know with the little light you probably can't see that very well. Okay, so you're sowing and you're not reaping. That's how you know you have a broken business. Okay, as long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, you put some seeds in the ground. If you don't get back, right, what that seed is there for, what you've planted that seed for, then something's broken. Something's wrong. And I see you, beloved. I see you. You're sowing. Okay? You're sowing into people's lives. You're showing up. You're consistent. You're sowing your content. You're sowing your value. You're sharing your story, your transformation. This, when you are not reaping, like the natural laws are seed time and harvest. If you don't reap, something's out of order. Okay, and we don't need to go any further until we really see this, that you must reap when you sow into your business. But what happens is we settle and we believe that it's just okay. My payday is going to come. No, dear. Many of you, here's the thing. You have sown so much. I actually coached a client on this yesterday. I said, if you were just to spend an entire week of just selling, no giving of value, none of that, because you've done enough. You've given enough value. You've sown enough. It's time to reap. I said, if you were to just spend an entire week and all you did was just make offers, it's okay. Because it's time for you to reap. You've been sowing, right? And so she's been putting out content without call to actions. She's been using her platform for God. And this is where many of us get stuck. We use our platforms for God, and then we think we can't sell as well. We can just only be inspiring. Beloved, that is out of order. It's out of order. You sow, you reap. If not, it's broken. Okay, if you don't reap when you sow, your business is broken, your business model is broken. But guess what? I'm here to help you fix it because it's really simple, right? It's really simple. First of all, you got to be sowing. You got to be sowing the right seeds, right? Don't be sowing. I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole different video, okay? We're not going to get into what you're sowing. But I'm going to trust that you are sowing very good seeds that you can reap. Okay, so we're not going to get into that part. But really what I want to talk about is many of you are sowing. Okay, so this is what I want you to see. Sowing is marketing. Reaping is sales. So in your business, your marketing activities, are you sowing? Okay, in your business, your sales activity, are you reaping? And so just do a quick little audit in your head about, I see what the problem is. I'm doing a lot of marketing and I'm not doing enough sales. Right? And the reason why is because of your mindset about sales, right? And we deal with that. And I actually have something that I'm going to gift you that my clients have. And so stay to the end because I'm going to gift you something that will help you with your sales mindset. Okay. And it is worth a lot of money because it helped me create multiple six figures in my business. So I want you to have that. So stay to the end so I can tell you about it. I'm excited for you to have it. And so what I notice with coaches, they over marketing, right? So they over market in their business and they skimp on the sales. Okay? That is a broken business model. I would rather you flip that you oversell and you skimp on the marketing. Yeah. I know you're like, well, no, they have to know me and I have to give value. You selling to them is value. If you really truly know how to sell as a coach, that is value. To invite you into my container where you're going to have the transformation of your life, oh, that's more valuable than me giving you 3 bullet points and how-tos. because your brain is going to take that how-tos, 3 bullet points, and it's going to file it somewhere. And you're not going to change. But when you make the investment to come into my container, and then you become accountable to this work, and I come alongside you in this work, and we do this work to renew your mind and transform your life, that's more valuable. So I would rather you skimp on the marketing and go all in on the sales. But this right here is a broken business model. You're sowing and you're not reaping. And so here's the thing, it's not your fault. We truly have been set up to create broken businesses. But as I just said, Psalm 1 and 3, whatever you do will prosper, beloved. That is how you are to be operating. So it's time to not take a broken business into next year. Okay, and I am so grateful to God. He got a hold of me at the beginning of this year. I did a challenge, right? And I want to talk about this with you. I did a challenge in my group coaching program, right? It was called Clients by Grace. I did that challenge and it has changed my entire business. So from doing that internal challenge in my business, God gave me an entire product suite. He gave me my business model. He's like, this is good, Kim, but this is better. All right, my business, I wouldn't say that it was broken, but it wasn't scalable. Okay. And so he gave me this new business model. And so I just want to share with you that it's not your fault. We have truly been set up to have a broken business. And the reason why we've been set up to have a broken business is only because your mentors and your coaches haven't told you what's the needful thing. What is the needful thing in your business? Do you know what the needful thing in your business? It could be on this board, it could not be. But there is a needful thing. When we look at Mary, we look at Martha, right? Jesus is like, no, she's doing a needful thing. You are busy about many things, but there is a needful thing. And so I want to talk to you today about the needful thing. And so again, what I notice with new coaches, when they come in and they want to start their businesses, they're looking at the goal. This is what I want. How they're going about it is how they create this broken business model. And so as a believer in business, we don't create success or anything actually in our lives. We don't create anything directly, head on. So if I want a group coaching program, I want 10 clients, I want 10K months, I want a 6-figure business, I want to sign a client today, I don't create that head on, right? I don't go directly for the thing. How do I sign a client today? You've already lost. You've already lost if that's your question. We see that whatever they do will prosper when this person is what? They're meditating on the word day and night. They're like a tree planted by the streams of water. And so everything we do as a believer is not just head on directly. Things are added to our lives when we seek first the kingdom of God. And this is a very important lesson we have to get, or you will always be building a broken business. Why? Because you're probably like how I was in the beginning, head on, creating 6 figures, creating 7 figures. What do I need to do at this level? What do I need to do right here? And that's a broken business model because you're working too hard when you're going directly after the thing. You don't have to work that hard. It's easier. Trust me, it's easier. And so the needful thing, let's talk about it. Here's the thing. This morning, actually just a couple hours ago, I opened up my email and I read an email from one of my mentors. His name is Stu McLaren. Shout out to Tribe. Well, it's no longer called Tribe. It's called the Membership Experience. Right. So I am a student of that container. Right. And that's where I learned and invested in how to do memberships. And so he sent an email out this morning. I really want you all to hear this. Because just because you are new, a beginner, you're in the startup phase, right? And you come in, you don't have to think like a newbie, right? And I be getting on to my new ones. I be getting on to them. I'm like, come on, I need to get the belief in you that you are a coach and you are a paid coach right now before a client comes through the door. So you don't have to think about a newbie. But here's the trap that most newbies fall into, right? Those new and some those that are established. What do I need to do? Again, trying to directly create the thing. What do I need to do to create a membership? Now, here's the thing, right? No one's knocking strategy. Strategy's going to help you out, but that's not where you start. And we have to know that those that you're looking at, that you are admiring and you want to be like them. Right? Like, oh, look, she got that membership. She got 1,000 people in her membership. You want to be like those people. And so you're looking at what they're doing. You're looking at their actions. You're taking notes and you're saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I had someone sign up to my membership. She was just someone who gave advice to family members. And she was so good at it that she's like, okay, that I can be a coach. Perfect. Come, lovely. Come, love. I got you. Right? I'm going to get that brain. We're going to put some tools in your hands. You're gifted. Now let's get you equipped. Right? Come on in. My container was perfect for her. But she had this vision that she wanted to start a membership. Now, she's not even fully a coach yet. All she's been doing is giving advice to family members. And so because they were telling her she was so good, now she wanted to start coaching. And not only that, she wanted a membership. I'm not anyone to rain on anyone's dreams. I'm like, let's go. You're in the right place. But I could tell that desire was wanting her to directly, well, show me how to create a membership. And this is where we get stuck in our businesses. We want a membership. We want a group coaching program. We want all these things without focusing on the needful thing first. And so you already know what's going to happen. She's going to get stuck, right? She'll get stuck. And this is all about you not being stuck and being unstoppable. She'll get stuck. Why? Because there's many things, the needful things that are not in place yet. But we think we can just come and someone can just show me what to do, give me the 7 steps to create a membership, 7 steps to a group coaching program, and that's all I need, and I'll be good and I'll be fine. And that's not how it works, beloved. Okay? And so we're going to give you the needful thing. But I wanted to share this from Stu. Let me see if I can bring up this email pretty quickly. And so I'm not going to read all the email, just like the first sentence and the subject line. But I was like, yes, Stu, yes. Yes. I was like, this is the email, right? And people probably don't have the same reaction I did, but like Stu, right? Like he's a company, 8 figures. And I'm like, yes, this is the mindset people need to have. This was the subject line, and this is why I opened it. What is Amy Porterfield thinking? So if you're subscribed to Stu, go look at that email. And that was the subject line. What is Amy Porterfield thinking? I was like, oh yeah, that's my type of email, right? So I opened up the email, and this is what the first paragraph says. Just 2 sentences, 1 sentence. Earlier this year, I watched Amy Porterfield make some shifts in her biggest launch ever. And I thought to myself, what is she thinking? Y'all, that right there, that's the gem. That's the gem. If you're new, if you're established, I don't care. When you see someone and you're like, yeah, whoo, that resonates in my spirit. Like, I know I'm meant for that. I want a membership. I want a group coaching program. I want my business to be set up like that. That's the vision for me. When you see someone and you're like, that's it. Your first question shouldn't be, well, how do they do it? What are they doing? He was like, what is she thinking? This is how you think on that level. I don't care about what you're doing. Move that stuff out the way. I need to see what's behind your actions. What thoughts are you taking? What are you believing that caused you to take those actions? And so he said he was observing her launch, the biggest launch ever. And she was making changes mid-launch. And he was like, I wonder what she's thinking. right? He's not trying to take notes on, ooh, look at that strategy. I wonder what she's thinking. And so this is how I am too. I don't care about like, oh, that's a cute funnel. Oh yeah, that's nice. And that page connects to that. And you need that autoresponder and you need that. And how many days it's in that? Who cares? What are you thinking? Action is rooted in thought. Who cares? Don't give me the 13 steps. I can figure that out. And I got Holy Ghost. That part. Right? But what is this person thinking? And we don't have that. That's the needful thing. The needful things are the actions, the thoughts fueling the actions. The beliefs fueling the actions are the needful thing. Okay? So that's it. That's how you need to start thinking. Right? So when you look at something, you're like, oh, I want that. Don't go after it directly. You got to get the thoughts. All right. We're going to start wrapping this up. Because I do got to pick up the girls from school. I want to read this. Joshua. I actually think I wrote an email about this today. I think get my emails confused now. But Joshua 1:8. Let me share this with you. You know, it's right here in my notes. All right. So Joshua 1:8. It says, keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. All right, y'all, this is the key. We hear this. Oh, God has just right here told us how to be prosperous and successful. But then we look at what he said and it's like, come on, there has to be more to it than that. No, that's it. All right, I done lost all my... I don't see nothing no more. Hold on. You guys went away. Okay, you're back. All right. And so we're like, okay, God said, this is how I'm prosperous and successful. God, okay, no. I need the steps. He's like, these are the steps. I made you. I know how you work. I know how your mind and brain work together. I know how your body and brain works together. I know what's going to happen when you do this. Do this. And so, meditate is you taking a thought and thinking deeply. Now, you have to know your mind and brain, two different things, right? And how they work together. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this, right? But I want to invite you, right, into our containers because we make sure that you have the science. You have the brain science, the neuroscience. When you think a thought, it goes to your brain. You are the boss of your brain, right? You get to choose what you're going to think about. And that's like an order or an assignment you're giving to your brain. Oh, this is what we're thinking about, right? So I taught in my higher program, Scale by Grace, earlier this week. And I showed them my daily practice for how I get my brain on board with the goal that I'm creating. And it's very simple, okay? How I get my brain on board. And so what you have to know about that is that your brain checks in to your mind every 10 seconds. This is how God created you. So every 10 seconds, your brain is checking into your mind. And I love to think about it this way. It's like, are we believing something different? Or do I continue with the program that's currently on board? So your brain checks into your mind. So this is why it's important to renew your mind. This is why it's important to think on the things that God says to think on. Because your brain is looking to your mind to get orders, to get instructions. And so your brain tunes into your mind every 10 seconds. And so if it's still on, how do I do this? I don't know how to do this. I'm new and I wish I had that and this is not working for me. All of the wrong things. Your brain's like, okay, nothing changed. So let me just stay in this loop of sameness. Let me stay with the program that I currently have. But when you start thinking new thoughts, you start changing your mind, renewing your mind and changing the direction of your mind, you automatically change your brain. There's no sweat here, y'all. I love the way Myron Golden puts it. You guys know him. Y'all know Myron. We love Myron in my community. I love the way he puts it. He says, sweat your brain and not your body. Right? You probably don't say it just like me, but we're conditioned to sweat our bodies. Labor, working hard. Sweat your brain instead. Let your brain be like, man, she got all these new thoughts. Okay, hold on, girl. We making how much this year? Okay, ain't nothing standing in our way. All right. Like, sweat your brain. Let your brain get a workout. Quit sweating your body. Do that work. Get yourself a journal. Take your thoughts captive. Make them obedient to Christ. Sweat that brain. Sweat it. And so you have to see, when you take a thought, your brain now receives it. And now, right, you have to understand the hierarchy here. Your brain sends that thought to the rest of your body. This is how you get your brain on board. So every cell, literally, I have a training in my community about this whole hierarchy and process and how it works. And it's how God has created you. But every cell in your body now has an imprint of that thought. So just imagine if someone walks around, I'm sick, I don't feel well, I'm tired of this. Like, that is a message to the brain, and that brain sends that message, those thoughts, to every cell in the body. And now there is an imprint, a literal imprint, because thoughts look like trees. There's a literal imprint on every cell in your body that you're sick. And so what if you were intentional and you were to take what God has spoken, what he has said about you, and you were to give that assignment to your brain? It would be like, oh, we're well, we're healthy, we're rich. We are who God says we are. We prosper. Everything we do prospers. We make our way prosperous. We create good success. You put all of those cells in your body. That is where your actions come from. That is where your behavior comes from. That's it. That's the secret. We don't have to sweat or toil or create success directly. We do what the scriptures say. We meditate on the word. We meditate on what God has given us, what he has spoken about our lives. Many times we find ourselves stuck and struggling because we know what God has spoken, but we haven't been able to figure it out in the real world. No, beloved. All right, and I was coaching a client on this today. We're allowing our brain to keep us stuck, to say, well, I've never done this before. I've never been this way, and I need this and I need that. No, brain. You are just doing the best you can with what you have. But we need to keep moving. So I'm going to help you help me. So I need you to think like this. Come on, somebody. I need you to know where we're going and why we're going there and why it's important. I'm telling you, when you get your brain on board, it's going to be like, hold up, gotcha. All right, okay? I do have to finish, but I got to give you this too, okay? So we're inundated with millions of bits of data, sensory data at any time. So your brain loves you so much so that you're not overworked, overwhelmed, overheated, falling out with all of this data. It's filtering all of it. It's only letting in maybe like 5 to 9 bits of data, okay? But what happens to all that other data? It's just fading into the background. It's being discarded, okay? This is how God created your brain. And so what's the filter for what it discards or what it lets in? You, your beliefs, your value system, right? So if you're believing you're not enough, it's going to filter your world to prove you to be right. And it's only going to let in the things and line up the things that prove that to be true to you. And so we have to see that when we give our brains this assignment, that this is where I'm going. Okay, 2024, 10K months. And I don't have to, figure it out. I just need to give you the assignment. And you're going to help me. You're going to help your brain help you. So this is where we're going, and this is why we're going there. It doesn't matter what's standing in your way. I don't care what is standing in your way. Your brain's going to be like, I see the way. I see it. I'm the computer. I can see the way. It's going to fade some things and highlight some things. And so this year, as I was sharing earlier, this was all God, Holy Spirit. I created 3 new programs. There are 3 tiers. The lowest program is for coaches starting. It's the Coaches by Grace Accelerator. It's such a beautiful community. The culture, I love it, what God has allowed me to create this year. Then the middle tier is going to be the Business by Grace Incubator. And so that's where we take coaches to 6 figures. And then the 3rd tier, which we just recently launched, is Scale by Grace Mentorship. And that's where we help you scale that and become a kingdom and coach thought leader. And so before January of this year, that was nowhere on my radar. I was happy where I was, loved the Enoughness Academy, my group coaching program, lifetime program. That was nowhere near me, nowhere on my radar, nothing. What was a vision. I have a 3-year vision. And so when you come into Coaching by Grace Accelerator, we show you how to create your 3-year vision. That 3-year vision becomes a filter for everything that you do. And so you don't have to figure it out and directly create that thing. You just need to give your brain the assignment. Learn how to get your brain on board when it wants to go rogue. When it wants to be like, we never did this before. How are we going to do this? I'm telling you, I've done things in these past 3 years that I'm like, how did I do that? I wrote the vision. I made it plain. I got my brain on board and I went about creating action. And so this is how you become unstuck and unstoppable. Now and in 2024 and beyond, you get your brain on board. We do what the scriptures say. We meditate on what God has spoken. We get a vision and we navigate these spaces in our brain where our brain wants to get stuck. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm telling you, these 3 programs, I'm like, who did that? Who created that? I know I can do all things through Christ, but I'm like, Holy Spirit, you use my hands. You use everything to create that because it's truly beautiful what he created. Here's the thing, right? As I was going along creating, I was creating this one program, then I created the next program, and then I created the last program. Like Scale by Grace is like blowing my mind, right? It's like blowing my mind, this program, right? And it's all just in me, right? It's my unconscious competence just coming up. Holy Spirit just like, this is how you've been doing this all these years. But here's the thing. There were places where I saw where like in Coaches by Grace, when I was getting that out, there was places where I was like, had an opportunity to get stuck. It was like, oh, what do I do right here? Right? And I could see that. And I could see that it would break the momentum. And then I had to use my tools. I had to use my mental tools, my mindset tools to keep going and not getting stuck. I had to ask questions that were powerful, that were confirming that I was, it was already done, right? I'm telling you guys, the work to stay unstuck, unstoppable is just to work with your brain. There's nothing that can stop you. The scriptures say, whatever you do will prosper. I hope this was helpful. I want to share with you a gift that I have for you. Okay, so the gift that I have for you are 10 beliefs, my personal beliefs that I believe, and this is going on now like 2+ years, that helped me create a multiple 6-figure business. These 10 beliefs, I'm telling you, they are the cream of the crop. They are powerful. They are not just these beliefs, I like paid for these beliefs. These are the ones. Okay? They're truly the needful thing. They are what I would meditate on like hours and days and months and years. I've meditated on this. In the business void, I would meditate on these thoughts. When I saw nothing, I would meditate on these thoughts. And they became a belief in me. And my brain did its job to go forth and create. So what I'm sharing with you, and it's going to be free, what I'm sharing with you, these 10 beliefs, they're so powerful. Truly, just one belief you need out of these 10. One. You can meditate on it and it will change your life. You already know how you're believing. You already know if you're over marketing, you're skimping on selling because, right, you can't get on board with selling. You've got to renew your mind. It is the needful thing. And so these 10 beliefs are in a private podcast. Okay, they're in a private podcast. The name of that podcast is called Believe Your Way to 10K. Okay, so the Believe Your Way to 10K private podcast is a private podcast feed. You can get on any of the podcast platforms. And so if you want access to the Believe Your Way to 10K private podcast, so you can learn these 10 beliefs that helped me create a multiple 6-figure business, all you have to do is comment the word podcast below. I will DM you the link. It is a private podcast. You do have to sign up and opt into it. And you will right away get all 10 the beliefs, 10 separate episodes. You can binge them. You can see which ones are your favorite. And you're like, oh, I didn't know I could believe that. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, I can believe that. There were some things like, I didn't know I could believe that. Like I tell my clients, like belief is like a buffet. All you can eat. Walk up to it. You see those thoughts. Yeah, you can believe those. Yeah, Jeff Bezos thoughts. You can believe those. You ain't got to be eating just pop-ass thoughts. You can believe anything you want. So there are some beliefs on here. You're going to be like, I can believe that right now. Yes, you can. Belief is free. There's no belief police. You can believe it. And so there's some beliefs I'm going to hook you up with. And you're like, I can just believe that about myself now. You sure can. It will change your life. All right, y'all. If you want the private podcast, comment podcast below. I would love to stay around for some questions. So if you have any, put them in the chat and I'll come back and I will answer them because I got to go jump actually on a train today. I'm not driving to pick up the girls. My husband's going to take the car to get one girl. I got to take the train to get another one because we got to go somewhere afterwards. So I got to jump on the train today. And so I'll be on the train answering questions if you guys have any. But belief is the needful thing. All right. Be unstuck and unstoppable in 2024. If you want to get started in any of my programs too, reach out to me. They're open. All right. Be blessed, everyone.